President Obama is ordering a review of security standards for government workers, and the Secretary of the Navy wants an investigation of security at naval bases. Our senior correspondent, John Miller, is a former FBI Assistant Director. John, good morning.
Good morning.
So how did he gain access? What more have we learned about his access?
Well, he had a common access card that you can use to get on the facility where you're working. He also had a secret clearance. But last night I went through the Inspector General's report from the Department of Defense, and what they revealed was some interesting findings about who gets these cards and how. The Inspector General found that over a couple of year period, in a survey of 7 out of 10 naval bases they looked at, they had 52 convicted felons who were issued common access cards, one of whom accessed more than one facility over 1,000 days before it was determined he was a convicted felon. You had drug dealers, you had alleged child molesters, and that's a problem. So
this is a failure to heed background investigations?
Well, what they're saying is that they're not finding the derogatory data when they do the check. So it used to be the government did these background investigations, but when you live in a universe where there's 5 million people who have a secret clearance or higher, they started to farm these out to private companies, and the private companies use publicly available databases searching public records. In theory, that would come up with any convictions for crimes, but those databases are often outdated, and that's how these people flew under the radar. Now, the law requires, as do the regs, that you run these people through NCIC, that's the FBI's National Crime Information Center, and the terrorist watch list, and that wasn't being done in a lot of these cases.
John, there were so many red flags with this individual. 6 weeks ago, he said he was hearing voices, he was changing hotel rooms. They reported this to the Navy. The police did. He was investigated for shooting incidents in Seattle and in Fort Worth, Texas, although he did not, get charged with those. This pattern of misbehavior in the Navy when he was reservist, why didn't those red flags reach these contractors who hired him or any of those who gave him security clearances?
Because those, Nora, that is the perfect question, because those are exactly the red flags that would have flown under this radar screen. His arrests in Fort Worth and Seattle, both were not prosecuted when they got to the DA's office, so there is no record of a conviction. And his mental health issues in that hotel room was a police report. Now, the police actually brought that report to the Navy and said, he's a contractor, you should look at this. Where did that information go? We don't know. It's the kind of thing that might have raised some questions, but not necessarily barred him. This is the kind of thing Congress is going to want to look at and say, do we need to raise this bar?
John Miller, thank you.